ready, right? I think this is very critical for each one of us right now. We are all in our, prime time of getting employment, but the situation is slightly different. So I'm just going to share a small screen with you to begin with, and, for you to, get an idea, right? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So now let's look at the slides one by one, and we will see how we can address each situation. Now, this is the most, crucial moment in our lives, and at the same time, the dynamics are a little different, right? So we are looking at the entire interview perspective changing globally. We've heard of a first level interview, which is either a telephonic or a Skype or a Zoom session. So most likely, that's the first level of interview, and then they normally ask you to come down for an interview for a face-to-face. That's how it's done. Here, the entire trend is changing right now. Now, employers are looking at an end-to-end hiring completely online. So which means completely it's digital hiring process, including the onboarding, which means you get hired online. There is a web recruitment process that happens. So which means companies are gearing up for this kind of a situation right now, the dynamics are different. You need to have the best of systems in place. The network industries are working really hard to ensure all of us have great connectivity to, be ready for such changes, right? So let's look at what has changed, right? I think we need to understand, what has really changed in this whole process. So you can see that the hiring has slowed down, right? So you can see that the hiring has, it's not scary, but it has slowed down. It's not highly active. It's because we're all trying to grapple with the situation right now. All of us are a psychological situation as to how things are going to move forward from here on. How will the entire recruitment process be in various industries? And so for these kind of changes, how do we adapt ourselves? So this entire session will be in line with these, with these thoughts, right? So what's happening right now is the COVID-19 is sort of making employers use digital media for recruitment, right? So most of your interviews from here on, at least I can foresee for the next 6 months, it's going to be online. So you should be ready to have, of course, a face-to-face connection or a face-to-face chat, but it will not be too personal, as in you don't have to, your travel time, of course, will be reduced, so you don't have to go to the place and take up interviews, but you should, you should have the best of network system in place in your house so that you can hear the interviewer, and at the same time you can respond effectively. They get to hear you. They get to understand that you are the best candidate that they're looking for, right? So what else has happened, right? So there is increase in work from home. So I'm working from home right now. So about 100% of my organization, the employees are working from home. So it has changed a lot for us in terms of, getting things done at the same time, but there's a lot more focus in the way we do things, like when we at work, you have your coffee breaks, you have your lunch breaks, then you have a quick discussion with your immediate, personnel, these sort of things sort of take up most of your time. But here, when you sit down to work from home, there is 100% focus. So you sit with your laptop, but of course you have other things to also focus on when you're at home. Even that gets taken care of. So a lot of advantages as well. But this will be the trend from here on, at least for the next, I can say at least for the next 6 months. There'll be more work from home. The policies will change. HR policies will change when it comes to work from home. There'll be more weightage given for work from home. There's a lot of risk at this point in time involved to actually travel to work and then work from your place, right? Whichever organization that you get employed, right? Let's see. Is this slide? It's a very simple slide. I'm not made a robust slide for you guys so that it's very easy for us to catch up on the current changes, right? So what has this changed, right? So I'm sure majority of you are looking at internships. So that's all going to be virtual from here on, right? I see 2 participants raising hands. So is that a question or they hear?
No, ma'am. Like we will have Q&A at the end of the session, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Fine. So
Okay.
I can go on, right?
Yeah, please, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Right. So that's the first thing that you notice, right? So you see most of them are online interviews that's happening. So the virtual, so your internship programs, right? That's one of the worries or, the MBA guys have is, okay, now I need to finish my final year project. Now, what's going to happen to my internship? Well, that's also going to be virtual from here on. You will be working with various industries, but most of your work will be from home. So your virtual internships will increase to 30%, is already increased, but will further increase. Now, what's happening to other industries? So we're familiar with the industries like travel, tourism, and hospitality, which is already affected, right? So there is a total freeze in hiring in most of these industries. However, the healthcare, the online e-commerce and e-learning industries will definitely thrive. Okay, this is the time they get to meet the best of brains, make a lot of money, because this is going to be completely a digital era from here on. There will be very less face-to-face interactions in person, but more to do with the technology. So the technology and the network related industries will have a direct boom. So anyone who's looking out for a job opportunity, the best advice right now is sort of put a hold on the travel, tourism, and hospitality for a while, and focus on these industries. When it comes to applying for a new position, focus on healthcare, focus on e-commerce industries, focus on .com, focus on network, and focus on e-learning industries right now, right? So which is what is currently the most thriving industry at this point. All right, so let's look at what else has changed, right? There may not be a total freeze on the positions. So the recruitment positions, the only fear which the candidates will have is, oh my God, will I be employed in the next 5 to 6 months? They will be slow, but they will be steady employment, because we're all trying to also be accustomed to this new change. So we want to know how a virtual interview works for us. It's not the same feeling you get when you meet somebody in person. So when it's online, how is the person, see, a lot will depend on how you project yourself, during an online interview. What's your network like? Is it, are you audible? Are you able to express clearly? So everything is going to matter from the way you take up your interview online to how you actually consistently do your work and how you completely sustain your employment online. So it's going to depend a lot. It's going to be dependent on your laptops, the kind of network connection you're going to have, the speed with which you're able to send data. Everything matters, right now. So let's focus on the current recruitment plans in industries. Now the recruitment plans, if you can see, yeah. So the recruitment plan, okay. So the employers they are postponing the recruitment plans because they're also grappling with the situation, but the recruitment will continue in a very slow and steady manner. So there's not going to be a complete freeze as such. At least for the next 1 month, industries will definitely need resources. They need fresh talents to sort of see how they can do things differently. So I'm sure majority of us in this room, in this forum right now, do not worry, because things will change for the better. It will be slow, it'll be steady, but you will need to equip yourself right now. This is I would say it's a blessing in disguise for most of you. You can focus on a lot of things. You can focus on a lot of online courses. You can focus on many things right now to equip yourself at this point. So let's look at what else. Let's look at what else, right? What else? What has this changed, right? So yes, the date of joining for majority of candidates who've been offered, their date of joining has been deferred. Some of them have been postponed to different dates. Some say it's after April 15th, but majority of them feel it's after July 15th. They'll be able to see majority of the companies picking up on their hiring plans. So that is the, that is the change that has come about. Hiring will continue, hiring will happen, but it will take its own course of time. But you have this time to focus on yourself. A lot of self-improvement, self-development courses that you need to right now focus on, because this is a blessing in disguise. However, the situation seems outside, if you're at home and safe and secure with your parents, I think that itself is a big thing, right? So just one more thing before I go into the next slide. Yeah. So as I did tell you, majority of the organizations are trying to get a clearer picture as to how they're going to, before they commit to you, if any of you have got your offers already with various companies, I see that there's a new rule that's come that they cannot, withdraw the offer. That they would be probably be postponing your date of joining, but they wouldn't be withdrawing the offer. But that's still in progress. So we need to confirm that. All right. So yeah, let's move to the next one. So amongst all this, right, amongst all this that's happening, so what is that's happening really good? So that's something we need to also look at. Now, I think this is where you all come in, right? So this is the best time for most of the companies to sort of pick up talent. When I say talent, it's a fresh pool, right? People who've completed their graduation or their post-graduation. So this is the best time for companies like us to use their brains to sort of develop a lot of apps online, right? There's a way that we need to rebuild the economy. Now we need to focus on a lot of .com initiatives. We need to focus on the digital era. So whichever business line is going to get us the results, we're going to focus on that. So for which we definitely need people like you. We want to recruit people like you to sort of help us out on the longer run. So the fresh talent will never be ignored. They will be considered. It's great that, they're all available right now in their respective homes for us to design, customize, new technology programs for them and offer them. So what DICE right now is doing, we're looking at building a soft bench. We're looking at hiring fresh talents who completed their graduation, put them in for a technical training, customized technical training. DICE, we have a very own pool of resources who are technically very strong, and we will have them train you guys and deploy them for our very own projects. So that is also one thing that I can that I can actually talk about it in the forum. So any questions there, we can connect in our Q&A session, right? So let's see this is the most critical part right now. I think all of you would be waiting for this, right? So let's cover this a bit, right? So how do we prepare ourselves? So this topic is about how to be interview ready. But for you guys to be interview ready, you need to know what is the current situation, right? So only then you will be in a position to be interview ready. So you need to customize your own preparation. It's not like when you see, there are a lot of things you need to still focus on, right? When you're taking up digital interviews. Now, this is the first point, if you can see, right? Invest in a steadfast internet connection at home. So can I would like someone to probably in the group, maybe 1 or 2 persons, you just raise your hand and unmute. How does a steadfast internet connection help you?
You want someone to answer it, ma'am?
Someone to probably.
Yeah, students, you can unmute and you can give the answer.
This is the most simplest, thing, but it's first on the list, because if you don't have this, a lot of thing depends on this, right? So you can even recommend connections, which are good right now that we can all use. So how is this investment going to help you? Posing the question to students. Any one of you.
Or you can give the answer in the chat also.
Okay, there are a lot of answers. Right. I'm just trying to see where the chats are. Here it is. Great.
Someone has said.
I don't know why there's some, let me just see what is the issue with the chat. Yeah, right, I've got. So yeah, I've got plenty of answers, but let me take a quick look at what I've got.
Future depends on online.
Yeah, future depends on online. Okay, yes, majority of it is online. That's true. Surya Prakash, that is true. Future is dependent on online, but the human touch, human connection, that's one of the worries that we all have right now. Is will that fade away? My gut feel is it shouldn't. All of us would like to see each other, right? Physically in person. So I hope that doesn't go away. But yes, there will be a lot of dependency on technology online. Yes. We must be updated to go in pace with the digital world. Absolutely. We should be updated, which is why, this session is going to be focused on, are you guys updated? It's not good that you have an excellent technology. It's not enough. If you have an high-end technology, it still doesn't suffice if you're not updated yourself, if you haven't upgraded your knowledge and your information. So majority of your courses, your study, everything is going to be online. Payment is already online. So your digital currency will take over. So this is indeed a digital era. You're right, Pugarendi. So this is indeed a digital era, right? So a lot of ideas that will be required, online related, to, that's right. Again, Surya Prakash, to make more money, you will need to come out with a lot of ideas. So fresh talent, I mean, Chennai or any place in India, we have no dearth of fresh talents. When you graduate from a college, you guys are like really cakes for us, hot cakes in the market, that we definitely want to recruit you and get the best brains ever. So in that way, you don't have to really worry about how things are going to go, right? So let's look at where we are in terms of our points. Yeah. So, right, be presentable and creative. So your next question is, okay, now that I'm not going to meet anybody, I can just take up an interview with my t-shirt and perhaps what I wear at home. I would still say no. I understand that they're going to perhaps look at your face and they're going to talk to you, but there will be an inner feeling that you will have that you're not professionally dressed. You can try it yourself. You can take up mock interviews and see how you feel. There will be difference. We can do mock interview sessions as well if you guys are interested. There will definitely be difference in the way you're dressed, in the way you appear either digitally or in person, there will be a lot of difference. So be presentable still. If you're taking up an interview online, you definitely need to have steadfast internet connection, because you don't want to miss the questions which gets posed to you, which the interviewer asks you. At the same time, be presentable and be creative, right? So no high volume in the house, less noise. When you're taking up an interview, take up an interview in a very, very silent room, in the corner of your house. Tell your folks in the house that this is going to be a very critical point in your life. You need that time for interview. So your internet connection and your presentability are two important things that will definitely ranking number one, right? Eye contact, right? You still see me in the chat, right? So you though I'm not able to see all of you, right? But I constantly see the names, right, onto my right. So it's very important for you, if it's a face-to-face connection or an interview, you will still need to look at the person, all right? No looking here, no searching for your profile. You don't toggle between keys, right? Let's say you want some information and you toggle between keys to get that information. Please don't do that, So that is something to ensure that you keep your eye contact, ensure that you're presentable, ensure that you have a great network, right? Then CV writing, right? Your CV writing is a very critical component, right? There are sessions that I do exclusively on CV writing, which is very critical at this point in time. 2 or 3, 4 pages of CV, it consumes a lot of time, right? Me being a recruitment head, when I would like a CV which is short and crisp. Brevity is maintained. Brevity is, you need to concise your thoughts. You need to concise your experience if you have experience, and keep it just one page. So one page is a professional format. There are organizations that focuses on professional CV writing, so you can perhaps contact them, see how you can present. And please do not, I think I've seen majority of the guys, they have their hobbies written, which are very similar. So please be unique when it comes to the way you write your CV. Spend a lot of time, because your CV is going to decide your future. So everything on your CV is you. So you need to be as unique as you can, and present yourself really well if you are looking at getting this interview, if you're looking at acing this interview, right? So your CV is the first thing that goes to the recruitment manager. If your CV gets rejected, you don't get the job. It's as simple as that. So spend a lot of time in writing your CV. There is an expansive course in the way a CV must be written, right? Your objective. I mean, any of you have any idea how you need to write a CV? So I can cover that a bit as well today. I think we have time, so I can cover that. Right. Let me just, yeah. So I think let's cover a bit on CV writing. So I'll give you some tips on CV writing as well. Your objective on your profile should be short and crisp. You don't have to, you can either pick a long vision of what you want to be in the next 10 to 15 years from now, or you can, because you'll have to keep changing your objective every 5 years, right? So you can either do that, or you can pick a realistic goal. Any of you who are aware of SMART goals? SMART goals, SMART. Yes, CV is curriculum vitae. Yes, your resume. Yeah, so SMART is, your SMART goals should be It should be measurable. It should be short. Then it should definitely be accurate and realistic and time bound. So that's your SMART, SMART. All right. So you can Google it up and ensure that your goals are you can keep as I said, you can keep a long vision, so that's your goal, or you can keep a realistic vision. So instead of saying I would like to be a vice president in the next 2 years, ask yourself if that's going to be possible. If you're high in confidence, go ahead, but preferably it should be realistic. I'm looking at becoming the operations manager in a span of 7 years from now. The interviewer is also pleased to see that you've calculated the amount of time it takes for somebody to become a manager. So you have measured the amount of time that it'll take in the organizational perspective on promotions and the overall experience to get there. So now that's something that you need to look at. So your CV writing, your resume writing, you need to spend a lot more time. It's not a mere question of having similar hobbies as your friend. What is your hobby, and what do you do? Is that hobby helping you become a good person, better person? So in that way, keep your hobbies as well very unique. So that's something that I wanted to add. 1 minute. Yeah. So time bound. So one thing is voice is breaking. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Now, so it's time bound. So time bound is you will need to keep realistic timelines when you're writing your objective. Then comes whatever skills you have equipped, right? So with respect to that job, so you can customize your CV for every interview, or you can keep a generic CV, right? So you can focus on, I'm going to answer these questions that I'm getting on the chat in the Q&A session, right? So I'm going to keep that, yeah, I'm going to keep that in mind, right? Yeah. So you need to ensure that you have the skills equipped in your CV writing as well. So first is your objective, keep it smart, keep it realistic, keep it time bound. Then you need to focus on the skills that is required for that specific position. So you can actually customize your resume based on the job that you're applying for. So which means you need to know the job description very well. So in your campus interviews, please ask your respective placement officer, hey, listen, I will need the job description for this position. You can build your CV based on the job description given. If you don't have the specific skill, please tell the interviewer that you're not aware of it. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say I don't know, I don't have any idea, I'm going to look it up next time, right? You always go back, look it up, and come back. So instead of lying to your interviewer, please tell them if you're not sure of any specific skills, right? What else do I have? Right. Know thy company, right? So this is something that you need to, your homework, because it's all going to be online right now. You can't give reasons like I didn't have the time, I was stuck in traffic. All your excuses will not be looked at, because you have enough time to prepare for an interview now, right? You all agree with me. So let's just see how best we can utilize the time right now that God has given us, right? So know thy company. So whichever company you're taking interviews for, you can you will need to research about the company. I will also tell you what all you need to look at when it comes to the organization. See, for your personal interest, right, what you can do is, if you're applying for a company, there are reviews and feedbacks There are websites that will give you reviews about the organization. There are websites that will give you, feedbacks about an organization. So you can look into that to have a personal feeling of, okay, will this organization be okay? Is this organization safe for me? Can I apply for it? How the employees treated, how the employees paid in this organization. So those are the information that you can get on the reviews, online, that you can look at. The second thing that you can look at is when you go to the website of a specific organization, you will have to look at the management, how advanced is the management, how internationally acclaimed are those management team, right? What is the education background of the management team? So how long have they been in the industry, right? If they've been in industry for like 5 to 10 years, how have they sustained, in the industry? And what's sort of employee feedback? So you can always look that up in the employee reviews column that you get it online. About the organization, you need to know what sort of work they do, what sort of products that they have, what are the services that they have. So you need to have a fair idea of what they do, right? And you need to look at the location that they are located in. And you need to look at their employee strength, how many employees they have in the organization. So these are the things that you need to be very prepared when you go for an interview, right? And the next thing, when I say go for an interview, it's online interview, because this is one question which the interviewer asks as a surprise question, right? You will come across from an interviewer asking you, so have you gone through our website? Why do they ask you that? Why do they ask you that? Any of you? Have you gone through our website? This question gets popped up, right? Anybody? Anyone can answer this. Why would an organization ask you this question? Have you gone through our website? Maybe to know whether they've gone through their history, maybe you're aware of their works. Yeah. Okay. Either we know the company well, prepare for the interview, to know how serious you are. Exactly. Renuka Murali, that I wish I can give you a gift right now. Yes, this is definitely to know how serious you are about the job, right? We are taking multiple interviews. Now, none of the interviewers want to waste a lot of time. As much as you don't want to waste your time with an employer, the employee doesn't want to waste the time with you. So it's a mutual marriage, right? So an employment is like a long-term marriage, short-term marriage or long-term, whatever you want to call it. But it is definitely a connection that's made, right? Your interview, will tell you that. So definitely, yes, if you're really keen, if you're really interested in the job, that is the only reason they will look at. So which means do your homework. If you really want the job, please do your homework, know about the organization, know about the management team, know how long have they been in the industry, how many employees they have, where is their presence, in the entire world, and what are their services, what are their products, what is your interest, where would you come in, what is your line of interest, how would you match. So you need to really tell them, hey, listen, you are your marketing person, right? You're going to market yourself. So this is completely, you are the product, selling yourself right now, because nobody's there to market you. So you really have to sell yourself. You be your best of behavior, you best of clothes, best of eye contact, best of information, best of internet connection, right? So that's something that I keep harping again and again in the session. So you need to be at your best and definitely smile, right? You won't look odd talking to a computer. So most of the time you're still talking to the person, right? So most of you, please smile and look pleasant. There's nothing to be alarmed about. You're taking interview at your own comfortable space, right? You're at your home. So what worse can happen, right? So you will have all those, fear factor when you probably, if there's a cabin, an interview cabin, then the HR walks in, there's this fear factor that you will have. So here you avoid all that, you just smile, look pleasant because it's your house. Probably have coffee. Your mother would have made coffee as well, so maybe have coffee. You're free to do that. As long as you're able to keep eye contact, you're able to have the responses to the questions that they're asking, and focus on you, interviewer, and the entire environment. Just focus on that and do your best. Health is one of the things that I've pointed out here, right? Why did I bring health here? What is the reason for me to bring health as one of the most important interview preparation point? Why did I bring health? Anyone? So why did I bring in health? We should not sneeze and look shabby due to illness. Great. I will agree to that point. Yes. Literally, nobody wants to see too much of coughing, right? In the interview. Right? Nobody wants to interview a sick person. So keep your health at an optimum level at all times. We're not walking much outside now, so keep your health checked frequently. That's right. So they're investing on you, so invest on yourself. That's important. So you need to do a lot of investment on yourself. See, at the end of the day, it is all about you, if you notice it. It's all about how you take care of yourself, how you keep yourself. Everything boils down to you, right? So isn't it, that's easy, because it's not the other person that you're taking care of. It's actually you that you're taking care of. So it's very easy. So focus on health. See, these are all tips, more than tips. I think these are all basic tips that I'm sharing with you. So that is, if they have viral or bacterial disease, it will spread to whole employees. See, right now, Shweta, we're all at homes. So right now we are in a much safer situation. We're being very responsible. We're all responsible citizens of India. Like, we're all staying home. So we don't have that as an issue at this moment, right? So Aishwarya says, just to see fit and enthusiastic, active employee. Okay, definitely. We all want to, we all have dreams and aspirations. Therefore, health is important, right? We all want to become head of a specific project, or, we have such dreams. So health will be very important for us. So this is just not for an interview, okay, purpose. Overall, on the long term, health is a major, health and technology. So these are the two areas, industries that's going to have a big boom, actually. So health and technology, please focus on health and technology. That is the technology within your homes, and the health with respect to your physical, mental, and spiritual health. Just focus on these two, right? Definitely food industry. That's, again, e-commerce, like we're ordering food online, right? So that's definitely taken a massive, they're now, the most critical industries ever at this point, right? Give some idea for our health, because all of them are okay. Men need on, okay. I think I'm not a doctor, but what I can tell you with respect to health is, sitting in, even at work, right? We have these ergonomics. The chairs are all, designed in such a manner that we don't get back pain or back issues. So at home, it's a different ball game altogether. No, we do get back issues at the end of the day. So please, what you can do is at regular intervals, stand up and do some stretches and take a break and do some stretches. That will definitely, that will definitely help you out. That will definitely help you out, right? So I think back problems are the main culprit here, because the chairs are different. You can't, I don't know, you can't get an office chair. If you have an office chair, if you can supply it to your respective homes, that'd be nice. But we can practice simple exercise while working. Yes, definitely. Which is why exercise should be your daily routine. So ensure you have your stretches done and on a daily basis. Yoga will definitely strengthen your back. It is proven. Yoga is one exercise that yoga and meditation, because right now, because the situation psychologically is also affecting people. So there's a lot of people who are getting depressed. So I do sessions for them separately on the mental makeup of people as well, which is a separate session as well. Yoga and meditation right now is again a fast booming industry. Now that everything is online, these things are also done online right now. So yoga, there are exercises with respect to strengthening your back, your muscles, and also meditation in your concentration, and your stress will also get reduced. So these two definitely you can try when you're at home, and this will also help you when it comes to focusing on interviews. So you don't want to be stressed while taking an interview, so your yoga helps, and of course your meditation helps. 5 to 10 minutes before your interview, right? Without any thoughts, completely, you can sit down in a quiet place. Definitely you can focus on your yoga as well, yoga and meditation as well. So this is something that you can do. Online courses, like I told you, what DICES does right now, my organization, what we are doing right now is we are taking in graduates, right? We're putting them for a specific technology training program. It's like a module that we give them. We're coming out with a module. There's still some meetings which we're trying to do, right? So we're, we should be completing those modules as well. So it's a 2 months intense technology training program. And then you will be deployed in our projects, which will be trial projects, or, will be trial projects. Then post the trial projects, what we will do is we will deploy you on our main project. So initially for the 2 months, you don't have to really, it's a free training program. Your compensation will actually, once we employ you, right, as an employee, then you become DICES employee. You'll be deployed in various projects, either within DICES or in our external clients as well, depending on the need, depending on the project requirement. And online courses, right? So we currently we are looking at online modules. So I will definitely come out with a proposal to your college. I will have a separate meeting, right? That is something that that's a separate discussion. But however, online courses, keep yourself updated in the technology. If you're interested in applying for an IT organization, equip yourself in the latest technology. Keep yourself updated on the latest versions. Focus on taking up these small time projects, that you can work with, and see if you can, show results there. And definitely online courses right now, because you have the time, please invest on what is needed. Don't invest on so many other things that are online which might not be of any use to you. Invest on programs that will be of use to you, right? So you need to focus on that. Right. So these are the main points that you need to keep in mind while preparing for a digital interview, right? This is a digital world, so this will all be online interviews. So you need to be ready that way. Now, let me just go back to, right. So this is a worry, right? This is a worry for all of us. Like, I'm sure majority of you, the offers have already been made by many companies. So there is a talk that's happening right now, that the companies are not to withdraw any job offers made to students in campus placements due to the economic slowdown, right? Because of the pandemic. Now, one of the other things that you can do so that, the offers are not declined by the companies is to ensure that you don't travel anywhere. Keep your official and personal travel for 3 months checked. Your medical history is maintained, so that you are employable. You're COVID free, you're corona free, and you're employable. That's very key right now. I think that's the most important critical thing right now, is to ensure that your health is in optimum, that you keep updating yourself, you keep that you keep maintaining your knowledge database, increasing your information when it comes to learning some new technology. So keep all of this on track, and ensure that you are updated, right? And yeah, I think these are the main things that I wanted to cover for today. And yeah, I think let's be open to. I've been getting a lot of questions as well. So let's. I'm open for questions. So anybody wants to ask me a question right now? You can go ahead. I think I'm sort of done with respect to the basic interview needs requirement. Priya?
Any questions from the participants?
You can open. You can probably unmic and you can ask. So that's fine. You can introduce yourself and ask me.